Good Monday morning, first graders. It's good to see you. It's good to be back. Got a brand new book, brand new series to start us off this week. Actually, I only think I have one from this series, so this will just be the one. But it's a longer book. There's 9 chapters. Hopefully I'll finish it this week. We'll see. But yeah, I'm interested and excited to get into this book. This book is by Tom Watson, and it is called Stick Dog Wants a Hot Dog. Another really good story with kind of bad drawings. This is the second book of the series. I don't have the first one, so I would read you the first one if I had it. So, Stick Dog Wants a Hot Dog by Tom Watson. Chapter 1. Let's get a few things out of the way. Here we are. Now, I don't really want to get into a big explanation about Stick Dog's name. See, his name is not really about him. It's about me. When people aren't such good drawers, they draw stick people. Well, I draw stick dogs because I stink at drawing. So his name is Stick Dog. Stick Dog has 4 main friends. You probably met them in the first book. Their names are Mutt, Poo Poo, Stripes, and Karen. Here's some quick background on Stick Dog's 4 friends. Karen is a dachshund who loves potato chips and once lived in the back of a French-Asian fusion restaurant. Mutt is a mutt. He once lived far away with a mailman named Gary. Mutt sometimes stores or loses things in his fur. Poo Poo is a poodle. It is not is not named after you know what. Poo Poo really doesn't like squirrels. Really, a lot. Stripes is a Dalmatian who once was a guard dog at the mall down Highway 16. She lost her job after the nacho cheese grande incident. She is unwilling to talk about it. All 5 dogs are strays. It's not sad. They have each other. The other thing you would know from the first book, besides that I don't know how to draw so well and Stick Dog has 4 strangely named friends, is that Stick Dog's main focus in life is food. Like me. He always is trying to find something to eat. See, he doesn't trust humans all that much. He thinks they're kind of weird looking. If you really think about it, humans are kind of strange. I mean, why legs? How about wheels instead? I mean, and 10 fingers? How about 20? And 2 elbows on each arm would be better, wouldn't it? Then you could reach more places and pick up more things. And 2 eyes on one side of your head. How about 1 eye that spins around on top? So much better, don't you think? And ears. Don't even get me started on ears. Picture. So, Stick Dog doesn't like humans because they're weird looking. But he doesn't like them for another reason too. They keep all the good food for themselves. They're a bunch of no good, sneaky, food hogging, only have fur on top of their heads, keep everything for themselves evil beasts. This one family did give them some food once at Picasso Park. Well, the dogs actually sort of earned the food with this great plan that sort of worked out and sort of didn't. They gave them hamburgers. But that was really just kind of a miracle thing. That was in the first book. Okay, Stick Dog basics. Bad drawing by me. Dog friends have weird names. Finding food is really important. Can't trust humans. Good enough? Great. Oh wait, one more thing before we get started. The fact that I'm not such a good drawer is something that I accept and live with. But I sort of need you to accept and live with it too. In other words, you and I need to agree that you won't interrupt me when drawings are not so good. For instance, if I'm in the middle of describing a UFO that has landed right in front of Stick Dog, you're not allowed to interrupt and say something like, "Excuse me, but that UFO looks more like the pancake I had for breakfast than a spaceship full of aliens." We agree that this will be a hassle-free experience, right? Also, I tend to get distracted and sometimes go off on little side stories now and then. Kind of like Miss Burnser. I do that sometimes too. Or I might, for instance, stop and provide some small bit of wisdom or make a little comment. It's just who I am. I can't help it. You'll need to bear with me through some of that, okay? Good. Now we can really get started. Our agreement. Tom Watson and you. Chapter 2. Bark, shake, rumble. On this day, Stick Dog and his buddies were all at his home playing a game. Stick Dog lives in a big pipe out in the woods and sleeps on an old couch cushion. The pipe is nice and dry, and the couch cushion is nice and cushy. The game the 5 dogs were playing is called Bark. And the game goes like this. Whenever something moves, anywhere, a leaf in the wind, a bird flying by, a triceratops charging out of the forest, the first one to bark gets 5 points. The second one to bark gets 4 points. The third barker gets 3 points, and so on. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game is the winner. Whenever you see 2 or more dogs barking somewhere, odds are pretty good that they're playing this game. You should try it too. Get a friend, or a sister, or a brother, or a grandpa, and play. Hold real still, and then as soon as something moves, bark real loud a couple of times. Keep score and everything. A couple of things to remember when you play this game. First, don't play it at school unless you want detention. Good advice. Second, when you play this game, people are going to think you're crazy. After a couple of hours of playing Bark, the 5 buddies went down to the creek to get a nice cool drink of water. They walked into a shallow part of the creek, lowered their heads, and slurped away. Now I'm thirsty. Oh, good thing I have water. Where's my coffee? I'm going to get some soon. Have you ever seen little humans drink? Karen asked the others after getting her fill. Now, Karen is a dachshund, so it didn't take much to fill her up. Several hearty mouthfuls, and her thirst was quenched. It's kind of strange. How so? Stripes asked. They use this magic thing. Mutt had now walked into a deeper part of the creek, cooling off his whole body in the slow-running water. What do you mean? Well, the obvious way to drink is like we're doing right now, of course, Karen began to explain. To demonstrate. She dropped her head and took a quick lap of water in her mouth and swallowed. You know, find some liquid, lower your head, and drink. No big deal. But the way they do it is bizarre. Mutt had risen, soaking wet from the water, and began to walk to the shore. How's that? It's crazy, Karen said. I see little humans do it at Picasso Park all the time. They have boxes that they shove magical sticks into. Magical? Poo-Poo asked. Oh yeah, way magical, said Karen. You should see them. They press their magic sticks into boxes of liquid, and then put their lips around one end of the stick, and then the drink comes up. That's why it's magic. The liquid goes up. This reminds me of a couple students at school. James, always got your juice box, and your straw. Let's see, Greenlee sometimes. Aiden sometimes. Piper's got the twist-off lid on hers. That's all I can think of right now. I know a lot of you have had juice boxes. We've had juice boxes in class before. It doesn't. No way, said Stripes. It does, I swear, exclaimed Karen. That's impossible. Liquid can't go up. It only goes down, Mutt said. He had reached the shore now and climbed out of the creek. Rain comes down. The creek runs from higher points to lower points. Liquids do not go up. I know that, said Karen. That's what makes the stick magical. Now, this conversation would likely have continued for some time, but by now everybody had a drink and gathered around Mutt. Stick Dog, Karen, Poo-Poo, and Stripes knew that he was soaking wet, and it was a very warm day. Ready? Mutt asked. They all nodded. and Mutt gave a lengthy and mighty shake, showering the others with water droplets and cool, wet mist. If you have a dog, have they ever done that? Got you all wet, shaken out? Oh my gosh, yes. Mine have done that several times. And it's the worst when they come inside the house from the rain and shake in the house. I'm like, no! It goes everywhere. Anyways, they're shaking out. That feels wonderful, Poo Poo said. And smells even better, added Stripes. As a token of gratitude for the cooling shower, everyone helped Mutt collect all the things that had sprayed out of his fur with the water. There was a pen cap, a shoelace, a broken ping pong ball, and a Snickers candy bar wrapper. Now cooled off, the dogs relaxed. With the rippling of the creek water splashing across the rocks and against the muddy banks, it was a lovely and peaceful place to be. Until the peace and calmness were interrupted by two sounds. The first sound was Stick Dog's stomach. Stick Dog was hungry, and Stick Dog needed some food. And when Stick Dog gets hungry, his four friends get hungry too. That's just the way it happens. Right below his stomach, it says grumbling noises. It's kind of like when you're in class and your teacher is up in front going on and on about how red and blue make purple, or 3 times 3 is 9, or how neat handwriting is, or like the most important thing in the world. In fact, without neat handwriting, the whole future of the planet could be in jeopardy. True. If none of us knows how to put that little extra bumpy thing on a cursive Z, then the whole world is going to collapse under the horrible weight of bad handwriting. If handwriting isn't neat, well, that's just the end of everything. Well, we all might as well crawl into a hole and wait for the inevitable crash of all human life. It says attack of the cursive Z. Cursive is a fancy way of writing letters. We don't make you guys do it in school anymore. Some teachers might when you get older, just as practice, but it's not required anymore. My teacher and I don't really see eye to eye on this subject. Anyway, when one of those teachers is giving one of those lessons and everybody in class is getting a little sleepy and droopy-eyed, something happens. You know what it is? Somebody yawns. And when that somebody yawns, it sets off a gigantic chain reaction among all the students, and everybody starts yawning. And then the teacher turns around so nobody can see, and then the teacher yawns too. I've done it. It does happen to me too. I'm not going to do a real... Okay. I lied. I wasn't going to do a real yawn, but just talking about it and fake yawning got me to do a real yawn. Did you yawn too? Did you? Well, that's sort of what happened regarding Stick Dog's stomach. When it started to rumble, then all the stomachs of all the other dogs started to rumble too. But that was just the first sound that interrupted their cooling breakdown by the creek. The other sound came from something none of the dogs had ever seen before. And someone else had heard it too. Dun, dun, dun. That's it for Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. I'm not going to tell you what the sound is. Actually, I didn't see it. So Chapter 3 is, what is a Frankfurter? You have to find out what the dogs heard tomorrow, Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in this wonderful Monday. I hope that you got your packets. If you have not picked up your packets yet, you can pick them up tonight between 5:30 and 6:30. Mrs. Hagen and Mrs. Hermanson will be there. Okay, they'll be there handing out packets between 5:30 and 6:30 at night. If you can't pick them up tonight and you haven't got it yet, tell your parents to email me. I will help find a time that works. I'll even come in myself on a different time if that's what we need to do. Okay, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.